lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
go. Green flag is out and underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
From Texas Motor Speedway, it's championship week here in the Glove Station Goat Locker Racing ARCA Series, live on Sim Racing Media. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Lone Star State. Folks, we've got one in store for you tonight as the Glove Station ARCA Series last visited Texas on Halloween. This year, they will lead off the GLR Championship Week. All series starting tonight will decide their championships right here under the skies of Texas. Tonight we will crown not one, but 2 champions. Points no longer matter, and the highest finisher in each of the Champ 4 will take home the division title. In the Pro Division, Chris Morse Jr., Eddie Smith, Andy Kurtz, and Timothy Wilmus have combined for 9 wins. Timothy Wilmus qualified on points as his average start and finish is 8th. In the AM Division, Jeremiah Holt, Alan Smith, David Calvert, and Jamie Libke also combined for 9 division wins this season. Tonight is set to be a historic night. Points no longer matter. Who will be the last driver standing? Will Goat Locker Racing have its first father-son champions crowned tonight? You'll have to tune in and find out as Goat Locker Racing Championship Week from Texas starts now. I'm Dave Regal alongside my broadcast partner extraordinaire, Mr. Jordan Brockell, and we'll be with you every step of the way. From the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Sim Racing Media. And Jordan, I know that we've been talking about this for the last few weeks as we've been in the playoffs, but tonight is where the rubber genuinely has to meet the road.
Absolutely. I mean, last night in the last round for the trucks before their championship race, we saw a lot of action there, and I think we're going to see even more here because not only do we have a one race, we have a race within the race for the N division, so I feel that we're going to see a ton of action through this entire field, and I'm looking forward to it as this track of Texas can be certainly tough to handle, especially once you start getting some worn-in tires. There's some bumps, and it's going to be a ton of fun to watch these guys try to handle through this. And a big thing that I'm looking forward to as well is just ultimately, everything from this entire season boils down to this. I mean, Chris Morris and Eddie Smith, certainly 2 of the top guys all season long, constantly in the running for race wins each and every single week. So I look for those 2 to be side by side. And if you're one of the other guys in this championship group, you're going to be looking for those guys to maybe get together.
Yeah, as we take a look here at the AM Division playoff tree, I mean, we've seen this the last, several weeks as we've gone all the way through the playoffs now, and this is really where the end of the road is. I mean, there's no other questions. There's no other, there's no other options except to pull off the W tonight. Now, just to keep in mind, all of your AM drivers that are in this championship 4, they'll be highlighted on the left side of your screen in the timing tower in red, and your Pro Division drivers, they will be highlighted in yellow. As of course, we also want to take a quick look here, and there we go. quite a slow transition here for those guys. But, you know, Kurt Smith, Morrison Wilmus, I mean, this has been pared down since the round of 8. So, you know, these guys have really fought it out to get to this point of the season. Now, let's take a quick look at our winner, of course, from last week. Last week, I do apologize for my absence, but it was Church League softball. We were hollering about a bag call, but the preacher didn't have to break up the fight, if you will. But Eddie Smith picked up the W, which, of course, launched him here into the Championship 4 on the pro side. And then, of course, in the AM division, you know, Mark Cofield picked up that win. And, you know, for these drivers, there's a lot of them who, you know, maybe you think to yourself, you know, it was a fluke, it was this, it was that. These guys have put the work in all season long as Mark Cofield brought home the bacon there for the AM division. So a lot of work to be done next season for the rest of this league, but tonight we're focusing in on, of course, all things championship related.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this AM division certainly isn't, you know, they're exceeding that amateur title, in my opinion. A lot of these guys are up in the top 10, top 5, fighting, you know, alongside the best that the pros offer. And, you know, we keep saying each and every week, you know, when is someone going to break through, get the natural win? And I mean, each and every week, I think there's someone that's right there capable of doing so. And, you know, I think tonight it could be the night, especially with a championship on the line. You can't really worry about what the pros are doing because they're not your fight other than for the race win. So I think we're going to see some AM drivers really push the envelope. And, I mean, we saw Libke already push the envelope in last night's race, stretching the entire fuel run there at the end of the race last night, and somehow going from lap 46 all the way to 70, you know, not making another stop.
Yeah, Jamie was definitely the story of the night last night. And, you know, we're going to touch on that too, because when it comes to stretching out the old fuel mileage, she definitely did that last night. Now, of course, we want to thank our friends here at Jam Printing and Promotions for awarding our pole award to our good friend Jonah Colbert down here on pit road, driving the number 31. Jam Printing and Promotions out of Plainfield, Indiana. We are local and veteran certified, and when we do well, we can do more good in the community. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning, and they provide GLR with all promotional items, including shirts, hats, decals, dog tags, you name it. Jam is GLR's go-to promotional company. And you know, something that, you know, I personally can't get enough of. It's about watching these guys and gals go out here on the racetrack and bring it home for the Jam Printing and Promotion Pole Award. It's definitely a special organization over there. As we're going to quick go through our starting lineup, if you will, as we're going to pull up that beautiful bean footage in case I didn't have enough buttons to hit for the evening. Sitting on the pole position, as we just noted, was Jonah Colbert. He's going to be joined by Eddie Smith. Jake Ellingson and David Calvert going to be in row number 2, while Chris Morse and Corin Smith going to be in row 3. Row 4 features Jamie Libke and Barrett Morton, with Alan Smith and Brett Bieber in row number 5, rounding out your starting top 10. Andy Kurtz and Jeremiah Holt in row number 6, with Devin Smith and Timothy Wilmus in row 7. Row 8 features Skylar Daly and Warren Clayton, with Brandon Wallace, Daniel Cunningham, Casey Jones, Noah Hoagie Hogard, Josh Unger, John Huchin, Ricky Six Jr., Dan Craykiel, our series director, making the start tonight, and Doug Macedo being the final driver to take the start tonight. He'll be starting shotgun on the field. 25 drivers scheduled to take the green flag tonight. We're going 100 laps here around this big old raceway outside of Dallas-Fort Worth. Of course, really more closer to Arlington, if anybody has a clue of any other large sporting brands may be in Arlington, Texas, where everything's bigger, except for the trophy case. Jonah Colbert leads us to the green flag just behind the iRacing.com pace car, which now, as we see, folks, peels on down pit road. And that means the only thing that's left to do is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab your popcorn, your honey buns, and settle in. Race fans, it's show time! Green flag in the air. Off we go on championship night for the ARCA series.
Eddie Smith surging ahead there to start here. Getting a good run past Colbert there.
They are quite the gaggle behind him as we take a look back here to Chris Morse Jr. in the 81 as he's ready to ring that Taco Bell, looking to the inside of Jake Ellingson. Now he peeks to the high side. They come through the quad oval and he gets himself settled down as the 16 of David Calvert cools things off. We go under our first caution. There I was all excited, and looks like bad things may have happened for Hoagie and John Huchin.
Yeah, and like I said, Texas is going to be tough. It's going to be a tough track, you know, and it's the tri-oval, the dog leg is going to be a tough spot for some people here tonight, and I believe that may be where we had our incident.
Going to take a look here from high above. Watch the 158 and the 44 right there in the middle of your screen. Hoagie bites the wall coming out of 4 and ricochets down into the 44. Now, I'll say this. We're going to see a lot of that coming out of turn 4, unfortunately. That's just the type of racing that you get coming out of 4. That rear end likes to step around, and by the time you reel it back in, sometimes it's too little too late.
Yeah, I just did a race here on Thursday in the next gen car. I know it's a different car in a lot of different senses, but that right there is a certain similarity between the two. Is, you know, you just kind of sometimes come off that corner, think you have a really good run, and all of a sudden that wall starts to get a lot bigger in that front windshield than it was appearing, or, you know, it suddenly snaps loose on you and you go around. So it's going to be a tough corner for the night.
And that's exactly what we just had here with Hoagie, as he's going to have to get that fast repair burned early. And anytime there we go, back to the live shot. Taking a look here at Brandon, Missouri's Eddie Smith, driver of the number 87, of course, our Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award winner. As always, a big thanks to them. I want to thank our good friends at Glove Station. Of course, without them, we wouldn't be on the air this season. And here at Glove Station, we are committed to providing quality gloves and protective gear for a wide range of your daily activities and jobs. From tinkering on home DIYs to working in industrial environments and everything in between, we've got you covered. From the endless amounts of safety products on the market, we want to make it effortless for you to find the right protection for your needs. Eddie Smith, Jonah Colbert, Jake Ellingson, Chris Morse Jr., and Barrett Morton. That's going to be your restarting top 5 as we get underway. Of course, a little bit of a summer break here before the next season start, and some big news. And we might as well be fully transparent here. Sim Racing Media will not be carrying the ARCA series moving forward, but you will be able to find them on Goat Locker Racing's channel. That's going to be a big change for them, and we're excited to see that growth. Of course, you never know. You may even hear a familiar voice calling those Monday night ARCA races.
That's certainly a great league, and love to see them grow. I just saw earlier that they were able to give away their 8th sim rig and computer and whole setup and everything. So continue to grow, and we absolutely love these guys here at Goat Locker Racing. It's been a pleasure, and look forward to more.
Yeah, you know, the things that they do here at Goat Locker Racing are things that I can get on board with from the door. And I really do want to encourage everybody to head on over to goatlockerracing.org/donate. As a contributor to Goat Locker Racing, Inc., we make sure that your donation goes directly to supporting our cause of helping military veterans and first responders. And thank you in advance for your generosity. Of course, you know, as you just said, their 8th full racing rig, and that's what your donations will go to, things like that. This is just an incredible community here in the iRacing world. And, of course, it reaches far beyond iRacing. We'll get into that a little bit tonight. But, I mean, everything that I've seen out of this group just makes me want so much more with them, for them. And, I can't wait to see what they do next, as here we are coming back to the green flag in the Geico restart zone as Eddie Smith, he drops the hammer, and off we go on lap number 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Ellingson moving up into that P2 spot, and something that I don't know if you necessarily got to catch up on, through comments and stuff from last week as you were out. Ellingson currently racing with broken vertebrae and a broken wrist, was in a car accident. Thankfully, as other than a couple broken bones, is okay, but hopping in here in like an insane, might as well call him Terminator at this point, just out here, broken vertebrae and a broken wrist. And I mean, hats off to him for still hopping in the rig.
Yeah, and folks, we don't want to cheapen the fact that just because it's a virtual race car doesn't mean that it's not real competition. Especially with the way that some of these simulators are built and constructed. I mean, you can really do some damage. In fact, if you check out, some of the Fanatec things that are out there, or Moza, I mean, there literally are kill switches on the equipment to shut it down so that you don't hurt yourself in the event of a virtual wreck. When that direct drive takes over, Barrett Morton here in the 61 just laid fast time down at 28.95 seconds. Not a playoff driver right now, as right now your highest running pro driver is Eddie Smith. And then, of course, Chris Morse Jr. running behind him in 4th. Right now, if it ended right here, David Calvert would be your AM driver picking up the championship tonight. But, we touched on it earlier, Jordan. Jamie Libke last night was a woman on a mission like we've never seen before.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, it was insane to be able to just pilot that thing and hang on there. I mean, an 8-second lead that shrunk down to just under 2 seconds over the course of that 24 lap run. And they said that as they crossed the start finish for the checkered, they ran out of fuel. And I mean, that's nerves. And I mean, just to be able to continue to try to run that car as fast as you can while saving is not an easy task by any means.
No, and you know what? Jamie's been putting the work in all season long. In fact, I've said it multiple times now. For at least as far as I'm concerned, has put the time in to really shape her craft. And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the Lambda Legal logo here on the side of the number 13. Lambda Legal is an LGBTQ civil rights organization and law firm that specializes in ensuring the civil rights of members of the LGBTQ community and making sure that they're protected and defended. And in 2023, Lambda Legal sponsored Zach Herron, an openly gay driver for the ARCA Series Daytona 200 that year. And they thought that it was a fantastic way to get the conversation started and send a message of support to the LGBTQ plus fans. And so she basically painted this thing exactly like his car in real life, and I'll tell you what, did a great job with it, and has done a great job all season across both of these series that we've been covering. So a tip of the cap to her for getting herself into that championship 4. So now in literally a week, she's going to be racing for 2 championships.
Yeah, I mean, that in itself should come with its own medal, just to be in that many championships. I mean, the skill level across this entire, Goat Locker racing, system is intense and insane. I mean, each driver has their own set of skills and consistently finding new ways to improve. So, I mean, to be in more than just one, or being in one at all is a big accomplishment.
Taking a look at some great racing here out of the 27 of Jake Ellingson, just below Chris Morse Jr. And, here's one of the things that I think is really cool about this league. No matter what we've seen overall from most of these drivers, nobody's just handing over a position just because they're a playoff driver. Hey, you want to go up there and you want to compete for that win, that's fine. If you get there, you earned it. Wow, watch the 61 all over the rear bumper of of Ellingson. Good Lord, let's keep a close eye on this. All of a sudden, Barrett Morton in the 61 was ready to get the chrome horn out to the 27. Here it goes again. A good run down the backstretch. Now Ellingson, able to run away here into turn 3, but just a moment ago, the 61 all over the 27's rear.
Yeah, giving a good push there. And, Texas, not known for, drafting in a sense, but certainly the aero, very dependent, just like just about every other track we go to that isn't a short track. The air, just being able to push somebody a little bit faster down the straightaways is a big key. As you see, just a little bit of a push there is able to keep the 27 to the inside of the 81.
Andy Kurtz out of Quakertown, Pennsylvania, looks to the inside of the 16 of David Calvert. And, of course, Kurtz also vying for that Pro Championship. I see all 4 AM drivers running together 8, 9, 10, 11. Yet the Pro drivers are sprinkled around here like a fine seasoning, as we're ready to watch some paint get exchanged between the 27 and the 81. This is a situation where, the 81 of Morse, hey, he's a playoff driver, but Ellingson isn't just going to hand over third position, and neither is Colbert. Right now it looks like Eddie Smith running away with about almost a quarter-second gap over Jonah Colbert. But these drivers aren't just handing it over and saying, you go ahead, you take this. No, they're making you work for it, and I like to see that in a racing league. More than once, and I know that we used to call them with some frequency on our airwaves, but back during my driving days, there was one specific driver that used to get on the air and just say, can you get out of my way, I'm a playoff driver. These guys would have told him to shove it where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're still racing for your own pride, your own personal goals. You're still racing for you. If it was the case of, I'm a playoff driver, get out of my way, you might as well just race the playoff drivers, everybody else go home, and no one be on the racetrack. That's not how racing works. Racing is hard-nosed, getting everything that you can get out of your car to help yourself perform better, and that's exactly what Goat Locker Racing does across each and every series, is each driver goes out within mind to get the best possible finish that they know that they can get, and try to even find a way to get a spot or two more than that, or even the win.
Just got to see a couple of positions get exchanged as Ricky Sisk Jr. started 23rd, now runs in 18th position, leading Josh Unger as the Fort Worth native, basically running a home race, if you will, here at Texas Motor Speedway. These two drivers, hey, listen, they might not be up there vying for a championship. They might not be up there even vying for a top 10 right now. But I'm telling you this much, they're still out here to compete with one another. I love seeing it, even on the last night of the series. And look here to the inside of the 16. Jamie Libke ready to start sniffing that rear bumper of David Calvert. And the 808 of Brett Bieber, we haven't talked about him too much this evening, but Bieber here in the 808 holding off Calvert now by about 0.4 of a second. A lot of distance between those two.
Yeah, Bieber, just I know his car says Lucky Charms, but just a couple unlucky situations every once in a while keeps him out of the championship in a sense. But strong runs throughout the entire season for that 808 there of Bieber, and look for him, to perform more next season as well. And I mean, Libke, I can't shy away from that. The fact that they're right there on the rear bumper of Calvert, fighting for that spot, and I think the AM division is certainly proving just how good they are and how tightly skill based they are by being right there with each other. And I think that's just proves the purpose of the AM and Pro division split. It just shows you that right there, you get two races within each other, and it's a ton of fun.
Jamie Libke running in 9th position right now, just behind David Calvert, as you had mentioned. Eddie Smith leads the way now in front of Jonah Colbert. So I get to mess around off air with my partner. Jonah Colbert running in P2, Jake Ellingson in 3rd, Chris Morse Jr. in 4th, and rounding out the top 5 is Quakertown, PA's very own Andy Kurtz. And, one of the things that I think makes Andy Kurtz special, not only is he, I'm assuming, a Phillies fan or some type of Philadelphia sports fan, but he's also been one of the most consistent drivers over the course of this season. We always see him running in about that top 7 or 8. He manages to hang around all night long until he wears somebody out and steals that spot. He's not out here to be aggressive. He's out here to basically outthink you.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been one of those guys that's, really relied on not only speed, but also strategy. Doing a couple, taking the undercut a couple times, or maybe running long and playing the caution game, or just, knowing that they have better long run speed. And that in itself is a priceless thing to have when it comes to racing, is knowing, how you can run a car early in a race. I mean, I feel like most of the time I end up finding out how to run it towards the end of the race, and that's when I'm just, kind of SOL, and just have to try to get every spot that I can get.
Yeah, and even as we watch these guys turn their laps, and we're 28 laps into this thing, 1 caution so far this evening. Alan Smith here, driver of the number 7, looks to the inside now of the 73, the North Mississippi native. Now trying to climb into that top 10. There he is, getting around the 73. Now he's got to put Jamie Libke in the crosshairs. And, Smith, literally, it seems like 8, 9, 10, and 11 have all been reserved for the AM drivers that are in that championship pool.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, I don't know if we're going to see them all separate anytime soon. I feel like each time that one of them moves forward, the next one just kind of moves through with them, and continue to they're going to continue to find ways to make moves. And I mean, that's ultimately, it's going to be precision for those 4 at a little bit more than the guys up front. The guys up front are gonna have to find different strategies, to figure out how to get up and around people. But that AM division is certainly going to be all about precision, in my opinion.
Look, I think that's one of the coolest, like a lot of leagues that we see on iRacing.com, they'll have, okay, you've got the ARCA AM division on, let's just say, Monday night, and you've got ARCA Pro division on Tuesday night. These guys have figured out how to get them both on the racetrack at the same time and have incredibly competitive races. And, if you really think about it, if you're in the AM division and you're not racing against pro drivers, you never have an ability, or the opportunity, I should say, to improve those skills and get to where you need to be, to go out there and lay it out with some of these folks. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is what's really going to start to shape next season's pro division, when, to me, all 4 of these drivers in the AM division should be promoted to pro for next year. I don't know if that's the formula that Dan Craighill is going to use, but if he asked for my opinion, which I gave unsolicitedly, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen each AM division driver grow throughout the season. I mean, they went from, having a little bit of rough stretch to start the season, and then, you start to see the guys who, put in the work, that put seat time in during practice, and maybe even some just scheduled test drives for themselves. Oh, Morton going to get Bieber there and give him a shot.
He got the full chrome horn treatment. Oh, my. I'm going to go back to that. This isn't going to make anybody very happy, that's for sure.
And for a moment, that tightened up the Libke and Calvert battle there for a second, too. Oh, you see what it was with Morris,
yeah.
actually. I think Morris may have gotten a little tight there coming off corner. Bieber seeing it, getting off throttle a touch, but Morton not able to see what Bieber is and just gets into the tail end of him.
Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a closer look now that we've seen it from the wide angle of the blimp. Oh, yeah, the 808 was trying to avoid him, and basically the 61 forced him out of the way.
Things happen in a split second here on the racetrack. Sometimes you don't have... Oh, I thought Morton was losing it, but he was coming down pit road. Woo! Oh, Kurtz with trouble.
Uh-oh. Trouble for Kurtz. Let's take a look and see what happened with Andy Kurtz here coming onto pit road as we are green flag pit stop time. Oh, he couldn't get it woed down and, made contact with the 27. That's going to be an unsafe pit entry penalty, 9 chances out of 10, and that's going to be assessed by iRacing. So there's not going to be much of an appeal there. He's going to have to serve that.
Yeah, it looks like 27 might have not made it on speed. Gave it a little bit of a stab to the brakes, and Kurt's just getting to the back there too. So
I hate it when someone stabs my brakes.
Kurt's gonna have a little bit to battle back from here, and it's gonna be tough, especially with how often these guys run green. He's gonna be begging for that, once in a while caution from these guys.
And folks, listen, when my partner says how often these guys run green, we saw last night's elimination race from the round of 6 to 4 go green all 70 laps. And we've only had one caution so far tonight here. If you're a veteran, first responder, or anything of the like, if you will, and you have an interest in iRacing or you're looking for a sense of community, Goat Locker Racing is absolutely the place to be. At GLR, we provide virtual racing equipment, racing team building opportunities, and fundraising events to support community initiatives that improve military and public servant quality of life. We seek to grow our competitive team of drivers and promote VR racing as a healthy activity to newly transitioning veterans and their families. We believe that friendly competition, adrenaline-soaked driving, and community gatherings are essential to a good quality of life for our civic servants and veterans, and that GLR can be a force of good all across the state of Indiana and beyond. And those donations that we talked about before, they'll go to equipment for qualifying drivers, racer simulation training for military, firefighters, EMS, and police personnel, public racing events and community outreach with mobile simulators, other veteran-serving nonprofits, and, of course, veteran education supplement grants. So, Dan Cunningham going to be the last driver to come down pit road, as well as Ricky Sisk Jr. But, like I said, if you can't afford to donate and you are a veteran, EMS, firefighter, first responder, police, check out Goat Locker Racing. You can head on over to goatlockerracing.org. Eddie Smith retakes the lead here after green flag pit stops. He has cycled back. Jonah Colbert, Jake Ellingson, and Andy Kurtz, they're going to go just behind him. Chris Morse Jr. anchors the top 5. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
Welcome back to Championship Night here in the Glove Station Goat Locker Racing ARCA Series live on Sim Racing Media. 49 laps in the books, approaching the halfway point. Jake Ellingson now, your leader, taking over from Eddie Smith as Jonah Colbert and Andy Kurtz and Chris Morse Jr., they round out the rest of your top five. And I know that, of course, May is a very important month to you, partner, and why don't you go ahead and tell us why?
Well, let's give that just a quick second as we go under caution here.
Just kidding. Yeah, let's have a caution. Now, okay, folks, I do apologize in advance. Off air during the commercial, I may or may not have asked for a perhaps debris caution. Now, I see Doug Macedo was involved here, so let's hope that it wasn't.
Doing a cha-cha slide through the grass.
To the left now. Take it back now. Ooh. One hop this time. Dang.
Oh. And I think it's just the little bit being on the apron there. If he would have stayed fully on the apron, I don't think it would have been caution. But nonetheless, brings out the caution. I mean NASCAR brings out the caution for way less than that. So.
Yeah, we've seen NASCAR bring out the caution for literally, ducks flying 6 miles away from the racetrack. So, I'm not saying that I'm anti-caution. I'm anti. Okay, so there it was. Turn 4 bites the wall.
Turn 4 as usual.
The grass. Yep. But I'm not saying that I get frustrated with NASCAR, but sometimes when they're like, there are storms in the area, and you look and let's just say that you're at Dover. Okay. There are storms in the area, but the storms are in West Virginia.
Yeah. I've been there plenty of times. Get that sudden text. The race has been moved up to 1 o'clock. Or, well, I guess it would have been 12 at the time.
And
moved to 12 o'clock.
Yeah, and there you are having breakfast at the Waffle House in Smyrna.
Just like, we got to go, guys. But to kind of go back to what we were, May is not only Military Appreciation Month, but it's also Mental Health Awareness Month. And bear with me if I have to take a couple breaths, because this is near and dear to my heart. As it is both near and dear to the hearts of Goat Locker Racing. Their mission from day one was to give our nation's warriors and first responders a place to come, be surrounded by those who know what they have gone through and provide some diversion therapy through racing. Their fight against veteran suicide and mental health issues will never end. We will fight every damn day. Just remember, if you need help, reach out. We are here. They are here. I am here. Any hour of any day, pick up the phone or reach out in Discord. You are not alone. One veteran, one warrior, one lap at a time. It is very near and dear to me, as we're about to cross 7 months since my attempt. And I will say, make the call, reach out. If you have questions about a friend of yours, reach out, talk to them. It is a very important thing to take care of the mental health of each and every one of the people on this planet. Good, bad, evil, it doesn't matter. Everyone deserves to be cared for. So pick up the phone, reach out, and call somebody. Ooh. I made it, Dave.
Yep, well, I almost didn't. Okay?
So,
folks,
yeah.
Folks, here's the thing. You know, one of the most important things is to make the call. You know, iRacing is worldwide, and Jordan and I are just lucky enough to be separated by only a short drive. A lot of these drivers are separated by a very short distance. Do not hesitate to pick up the phone. There is always someone who is willing to listen, and don't feel like you're out of home. I know Jordan knows that now, and I am proud to call him my brother. And he damn sure knows that I would be on 95 headed south in moments. And we mean that here at Sim Racing Media. We take it very seriously because we love you, brother.
Yeah, I'm glad to still be here, and I want to be able to spread that to each and every person that may be dealing with their own issues or their own things in life as we move forward and care for each and every one of us. But we're gonna go back green flag racing here from Texas as we see Unger take off here. As old Colbert sliding sideways there. Holy cow, that's certainly not a place to lose it there through that dog leg.
All but 3 wide as the 81 of Chris Morse just sliced right underneath Unger. Josh Unger now sinking like a stone, causing a lot of congestion here on the racetrack at a time when, during the restart, you don't want to be that guy. Andy Kurtz, though, all of a sudden seems to have set it on cruise control. He just slid right in front of the 50. Oh! Oh, God!
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
Still bouncing off the wall.
Just hold on up there. Don't come down here and think you're going to be protected, or, I'm sorry, aggressive. Josh Unger, you are better off sinking back and gathering that race car up on your own time, not somebody else's.
Ooh.
Sophie Markakis, thank you. That's my guy, Jordan, right there. I wouldn't trade him for anybody except for a Klondike bar.
Hey.
They asked,
make it at least 2. Make it at least 2.
I would sell you on the corner for 2 Klondike bars. That'd be it.
I guess it's
question.
I guess if you sell me for a Klondike bar, it'll only take about 20 minutes for them to be like, yo, this guy will not stop talking. Please take him back.
Yeah, I hope that the first place you don't go is over a bridge. Do they still do the what would you do for a Klondike bar thing?
I don't think they do the commercials anymore. I mean, I know they
like
still make them, obviously, but
the world has gotten so dirty these days. I mean, if they asked me what I'd do for a Klondike bar, things barring,
just put that on the back channel. That's all I can say.
Jeremiah Holt here in the 73, taking off and running in 7th position now. As we take a peek here through our top 10. Our top 10, Alan Smith, Jonah Colbert, and Eddie Smith are the only drivers who have, and now David Calvert, the only drivers who have lost any positions. But climbing up into the top 10, Daniel Cunningham, Jeremiah Holt, Andy Kurtz, they all started outside the top 10, and they've worked their way in. And, as we look at those playoff drivers, Right now, Chris Morse Jr. leads the way for the pros, and David Calvert leads the way for the AMs.
Yeah, but Calvert kind of falling to the clutches of Holt there. And now Holt takes the front spot of the AM drivers. Libke looking to get back to Calvert here. As Calvert and Libke have been near each other all night long and just kind of seem to match each other speed-wise. It's going to just take one little slip-up by either one of them to change that. As, it looks like Macedo getting passed here by the pack.
Yeah, Macedo's been off pace for quite... Whoa! Easy there, fellas. The 31 getting a little wild in front of Jeremiah Holt. But, Macedo's been off pace for quite some time now, as he's down about 6 laps. I want to thank our friends over at Lincoln Tech. Lincoln's mission is to provide superior education and training to our students for in-demand careers in a supportive, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. They are one of the largest automotive technology schools in the nation with 23 campuses. They are the title sponsor of the Spring Series and a huge partner of GLR, and it doesn't get any bigger for the GLR ARCA Series than Glove Station. And here at Glove Station, we are committed to providing quality gloves and protective gear for a wide range of your daily activities and jobs. From tinkering on home DIYs to working in an industrial environment and everything in between, we've got you covered. With endless amounts of safety products on the market, we want to make it effortless for you to find the right protection for your needs. That's Glove Station. Jake Ellingson with our race lead here on lap number 62. The 2025 spring season winding down and now under caution as Daniel Cunningham, oh no!
No.
And Jamie Libke involved in something. Oh, sweet Christ, did it happen? Did something very bad happen? Oh!
Oh, and then Alan Smith as well getting some of that.
Oh!
Oh!
I mean, if you're going to tag, you know what? I know we're supposed to be, neutral. But I'm a little steamed right now for that one. Let's take a look at it again. You know what? I want to make sure that I'm not speaking out of turn. And we're going to go to this right here. We're going to go to this cam because I want to make sure that I'm not wrong. And let's slow things down. See, now Jamie starts the turn.
It's just one of those, and I know, I was like, as an iRacer, it's hard to admit and stick to it, but that seems, from a broadcaster's point of view, is just a racing deal. 2 cars, running down the track, running their line, and Cunningham running his, and they just kind of meet at an inopportune time there.
Now Jamie's going to come out in P11. The 91 of Daniel Cunningham, though, he's going to come out in 13th. And Cunningham, not a playoff driver. And now this is a gray area. Now, I said earlier, hey, listen, if you're a playoff driver, okay, you've earned that spot. But you're not just going to give that position up to some non-playoff driver or vice versa. However, Cunningham to be in that situation probably could have standed to check up a little bit. That's just me.
Yeah, and it's one of those things he'll go back and look at it, and he'll definitely have the same feelings, or maybe even just run a little bit lower. Raced with Cunningham on several different occasions in a different league. One of the cleanest guys, so obviously no intention there whatsoever. Just hard racing.
Yeah, and that's a hard pill to swallow for Jamie Libke. I mean, it's definitely an ugly one to swallow when you consider where they've been, where she's been this season and what she's had to fight through to get to this point, and to be up here competing with all these other drivers. Hey, that's 3 other AM drivers that you're battling against week in and week out. That's not easy to do in this league.
No, absolutely not. I mean, this is a crazy skilled league, and I mean, these guys run pretty, I lost my words. Words are not good. My brain is still recovering. But,
Yeah,
no, these guys run as clean as possible and put everything into their racing, and it's phenomenal here.
Just getting caught up on some things here, checking out, making sure everything is all nice and tight there in the cockpit. Jake Ellingson with control of the field in the 27 watches the pace car dip on down to pit road, drops the hammer, and off we go on lap number 66. 34 laps to go here in the 2025 spring season.
Ellingson out front, Eddie Smith and Morris side by side, as we've seen them do a number of times this season. Kurt's in the catbird seat, if you will, to try to jump on one of these two guys here.
Is a catbird a lot like a cat dog?
You know, it's one of those sayings that I've never actually understood. I'm assuming, and this is just my logic, is I guess you're the cat and they're the bird, and you're just waiting to pounce on them. I'm guessing, but when I think cat-bird, I think of it as one word, too, sometimes. So I don't necessarily know what it means. I just know it means he's sitting in a position waiting for something to happen as we go under caution. It looks like Doug Macedo, some issues here.
You know, it's funny you should mention the origin of the catbird seat. We're going to cover that in just a few moments.
Is it a seat where a grandma sat with a cat and a bird landed on her hat?
No,
Hey,
it's even
It
dumber.
rhymed.
It does. Oh, wow.
Ooh, so Unger getting into the quarter panel of
Banging into the 31
Macedo.
of Jonah Colbert. That's not friendly. It's not very neighborly. The term catbird seat was featured in the 1942 short story The Catbird Seat by James Thurber and popularized by baseball commentator Red Barber, and often referred to baseball. The expression, according to James Thurber, comes from the observation of the catbird, an Australian bird of the family Tillanorchidae. Basically, it's like a branch. A superior or advantageous position. Now, here's your baseball trivia of the evening, and I'll leave it at this as we have mass pit stops underway. Eddie Smith, David Calvert, Chris Morse Jr., Jonah Colbert, Alan Smith, Brett Bieber, Andy Kurtz, Jeremiah Holt, Daniel Cunningham, Timothy Wilmus, and Josh Unger. Who succeeded Red Barber in his job?
Who? And that was not an owl that you heard.
Red Barber was a play-by-play announcer for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Up through the 50s. Who succeeded Red Barber?
Did not tell you. Look, when it comes to trivia, I got nothing. Give me wrestling trivia, I'll have it. I can pull it out of the hat like it's nothing.
Well, by the way, the answer is Vin Scully.
I don't even know who that is. I don't have your camera up right here, so I need to see.
Good, you don't want it
up. That
Who
seems
doesn't
to be
know
a normal.
Who doesn't know Vin Scully?
Someone who says they don't know Vin Scully.
It's like saying you don't know who. It's like saying you don't know who DW is.
No, not really. Everyone knows who DW is.
Oh, everyone knows who DW is? I'll bet you there's somebody out there who doesn't.
If they
Let
watch
me
a
ask.
NASCAR race, if you go, you know the guy that does the boogity boogity boogity, they'll be like, yeah, the guy from NASCAR. They at least know who he is.
Has no idea.
Who he is.
Doesn't have a clue. Doesn't have a clue over there. Let me ask.
Oh, man.
I would like to submit that as Exhibit A, and I was right. There are people in the world that don't know who he is.
And there are people that don't know who Vin Scully is.
You know, let me check that one.
See, I despise the Dodgers, so like I wouldn't know that.
That's 2 that she's not aware of. You know what, though? I mean, if you despise the Dodgers, I'm okay with that, but how can you despise the Dodgers?
Because
they were Sinatra's favorite team, from Brooklyn to Los Angeles.
Fly me to the moon.
Fly to the moon, all right.
Let me play amongst the stars. That's it for karaoke night here on Sim Racing Media.
Yeah, a little off key there for my tuning fork.
Hey, they said, a just okay gamer says, I know who Vin Scully is.
See, now I'm okay. I feel better.
There you go. Now you can breathe a little bit.
Yeah, out of all of our viewers, at least somebody... Oh, and Dragon's around. Oh, yeah, well, here's the thing. Dragon knows who my man Vin is, and he's an Astros fan.
Oof.
Listen, Dragon's been hanging out with me. Dragon's been hanging out with me for like 2 years. Actually, Dragon, correct me if I'm wrong. We might be on year 3 on Monday nights. Jake Ellingson going to bring us back to green. Brandon Wallace, Jamie Libke going to restart in 3rd position after coming down on lap number 63. All of a sudden, Jamie Libke is the overall highest running playoff driver. I was right. 2 years, says Dragon.
Yeah, Libke, I thought maybe he just took fuel or something of that nature, but had a full pit stop. Sitting in 3rd place right now.
Jake Ellingson takes the green flag on lap number 72, and we're back underway at Texas Motor Speedway. Jake Ellingson with a good jump. Wow. Now, the only thing that's scary about that is that when you get out so far here, the aero package in these cars is such that basically you're going to watch the 99 suddenly suck right up to your rear bumper and pass you like you're standing still.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, for Libke, she's got to be feeling pretty decent here. Is about almost the same laps to go here from last night, just a couple more, and plenty of traffic in between her and Holt there. So as long as she can just continue to run good laps here, not get into any trouble, it's going to be good here, and it's going to be one of those hold your breath moments. As caution came out, but I don't see anyone. And there it is, Jeremiah Holt, the one in trouble here.
Uh-oh. Ooh, Jeremiah Holt crashing multiple times, evidently. What in the world is going on? Oh, no. He's missing something there on the in the rear deck lid.
They're not missing it on the deck lid. It's the deck lid itself is gone.
CompuServe user. Watch the 73.
And Morris into that.
Go ahead. No, you know what? Tonight, I will allow you to say it. It's probably somewhat accurate. Go ahead and say it.
No.
No, go ahead.
No.
No.
Let's watch it. Let's see if we're right.
I don't know who we is. It's usually you that calls this one. I'm going to
let's watch it. Let's see it.
I don't see any contact there.
No, there wasn't any contact. It's a fancy little thing. I mean, that right there, that's that was netcode. Yeah, full.
Yeah, when the car disappears. Look, here we go. I don't.
Two cars morphed into one. See, I will agree it was netcode, obviously. I mean, pulled netcode on everything. But I think that's one of the times Netcode doing its actual job it's supposed to is I feel like contact there was inevitable in that situation.
We're going to look at this
As you
even
see,
closer.
So you see the way he's drifting up. I think that contact is inevitable, and that is clear Netcode, Cal. That is about a foot to 2 feet in between those two cars there.
Well, there
but I think contact was inevitable there.
Yeah, well.
Just like Thanos. So we got to get the snap.
Dragon says that they've never been to Texas Motor Speedway despite living in Texas. I can do the Hully Gully. I can imitate Vince Scully. CompuServe users, first of all, is anybody aware of what CompuServe used to be? Does it still exist?
I don't know what it is.
What?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Nope. Dave, as you broadcast with me, how have you not learned that there is just a ton of stuff that I do not know?
This is really strange. You can still get a CompuServe... Huh. You can still get a CompuServe email address.
Oh.
It's AOL, but it's there. Huh.
Oh. I don't think I ever had an AOL either.
I can't wait to see what the CompuServe weather is. There's just so that's you know what? CompuServe user, you have now spiked my interest. You've restored my faith in humanity. 25 laps to go. Jake Ellingson, Brandon Wallace, Jamie Lipke, Eddie Smith, Andy Kurtz, your top 5. 3 drivers.
Oh no. Lipke blinking.
This ain't the time, Jamie. Eddie and Andy. Gee, Andy. Oh, that makes me want to watch the Andy Griffith Show. That'll put me to sleep tonight. To be fair, it doesn't take much, but here we are in the Geico restart zone. Drops the hammer, does Jake Ellingson, and off we go with 24 laps left.
Ellingson back out to a good, decent lead there. Wallace fighting there. Eddie Smith and Kurtz right nose to tail there. Libke just saying, this is not my fight. And that's where I feel Libke, has gotten, a good rep, has just said, it's not my fight. I'm just going to step aside. And that's going to ultimately save her positions instead of fighting side by side with two cars not in the same fight.
Look, I don't want to state the obvious or anything, but looking at our standings right now, Jamie Libke running in 6th position. Next closest driver is Alan Smith. If Libke can maintain this for the next 23 laps, we saw her hold off literally everybody last night for 23 laps. This could be another championship run for her tonight, as we're going to open championship week with a really exciting one here at Texas Motor Speedway. Dave Regal and Jordan Braukel with you, as always, here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth.
Now Eddie Smith challenging for the lead there with Ellingson. Kurt's going to look to the inside as well. Libke able to stay out in front of Colbert, getting names mixed up here. And Bieber as well, so just sticking right here with the back half of the top 4.
The 31 of Jonah Colbert now looks to the inside. Oh, never mind, gets right back in line as Chris Morse Jr. holds the inside line underneath Daniel Cunningham. Chris Morse Jr. deciding some days you're Randy Johnson and some days you're the Bird. Getting around the 31 of Jonah Colbert.
Hey, man, you missed an opportune time to say sometimes you're Josh Berry, the other days you're the bird. We have a NASCAR bird reference now.
We do have a NASCAR bird reference. I'll allow it. Brett Bieber just laid fast time down at 28.89 seconds. Chris Morse Jr. at 29.9. Andy Kurtz battling it out with Jake Ellingson in the 27. The 48 and the 27 chasing each other down onto the backstretch. Oh, contact between the 81 and the 99 as they go scattering away from one another. 19 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway in the Goat Locker Racing Glove Station ARCA Series. Jamie Libke still holding her own here for the lead in the AM division. Eddie Smith and Andy Kurtz lead the way naturally.
Yeah, these two are not going to give up anything here on this racetrack. They're going to leave just about every ounce of rubber from those tires, use every drop of fuel they can. As you see Morris go to the outside of Libke now. Morris just seeing those two right out there in front of him, trying to get everything that he can get out of his car to get up there to even, have a chance at this. With 16 to go here at the line.
Dragons are on asking, are there any new tracks that you want to see get added? I'm very biased. Yes, I want to see Nazareth Speedway added to the service.
Libke in the wall.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Holds her own. The 808 all over the racetrack.
Sato touched the grass a little bit there.
But to Dragon's question, I would like to see if they can resurrect all of these other, forgotten or lost, thought to be lost racetracks like Hickory. I know that they're working on Metrolina. I would like to see Nazareth Speedway.
I put a comment on iRacing's Facebook account the other day when they were like, "What would you like to see added?" And I know it's an impossible feat that they would never even venture into. But I would love to see an iRacing version of.
You clipped yourself at the very end. An iRacing version of what?
Drag racing. NHRA. Give me funny cars. Give me drag strips.
Eddie Smith ahead of Andy Kurtz with just 13 laps to go. Things are winding down. Ellingson drops back into fourth now. Chris Morse Jr. rings the Taco Bell up into third. Jamie Libke holding on to sixth position for the time being. Alan Smith right where he began in ninth position. It's getting closer and closer now. I wish we had about 9 different cameras that we could all run at once.
Oh, yeah, I think of that every time. It's just I would love to be able to somehow stream, 3-4 cameras of battles each and everywhere, kind of like IRL does. Haven't figured out how yet. Haven't figured out even close what would be needed. I'm guessing multiple iRacing services and streaming to the same SDK, and it'd be a lot.
Yeah, I feel like eventually somewhere there would be a computer with a gun in its hand. Jeremiah Holt in the 73. Could you imagine the computers all rise up against us, and that's iRacing?
Yeah, it's called iRobot.
Yeah, iRacing is what drove them over the edge.
I don't know. I saw
oh, no!
Libke,
Oh,
no!
No, hold on to it! Libke shoots down. They stay green. We stay green. Jamie Libke may have just dashed her championship hopes. Jeremiah Holt, we stay green. Oh, sweet criminy Christmas. let's watch this again. The 27 got loose. I don't know what that was.
27, I think, was coming to pit. No, maybe not pit. Just the way it slowed up. I mean, you see him grab the apron a touch there.
We're slowing it down. It almost looked. Now, here we go from this angle.
It grabs the apron a touch.
I didn't see any contact at that point. There it is. He slowed down just enough. Well, eight laps to go under green. Jamie Libke effectively retiring the 13 from tonight's competition. That's going to cycle Jeremiah Holt into the AM lead. He's going to have to hold off Alan Smith and David Calvert. I'll tell you what, up until that moment, I thought that our champions were going to be Eddie Smith and Jamie Libke.
Yeah, but Eddie Smith right now, I mean, only 0.2 of a second lead, so Kurt's still with an ability to make a run there, as well as Alan Smith right there to the back bumper of the 73.
This is going to be for all the marbles coming out of turn 4 into the front stretch. Eddie Smith and Andy Kurtz and Alan Smith and David Calvert. They have found each other on the racetrack. Jamie Libke, if you're just tuning in, folks. Just dashed her hopes. And in the live chat says that he did not call out that he was pitting on comms. Eddie Smith, with 3 laps to go, leads the way. Andy Kurtz may be running out of time and asphalt.
Yeah, these 3 laps are going to go by painstakingly long for Eddie Smith, but going to go by super quick for the 48 of Kurtz.
Alan Smith suddenly have a finger-licking good night, and as they cross the start-finish line, the Popsicle Sticks go in the air. We're 2 laps to go. Eddie Smith and Andy Kurtz 2 more times around here at Texas Motor Speedway. Alan Smith and David Calvert, a battle of the fried chicken. Alan Smith in the finger-licking good number 7 and David Calvert in the Bojangles number 16. Couldn't have written that any better.
Yeah,
oh
I mean,
my, they are going to be even closer coming out of 4, and as they cross the start-finish line, the Popsicle Sticks go down. The white flag is in the air. We're racing back to checkers. Things pretty well settled between Eddie Smith and Andy Kurtz. Looks like Eddie Smith going to be okay there. We got to keep a close eye here on the 16 and the 7. David Calvert has exactly 1 more chance, and I think he just blew it. He couldn't get around the 7 as Eddie Smith comes across the start-finish line out of the turn number 4. He picks up the checkered flag and wins the 2025 Spring Series Glove Station ARCA Series Championship right here on Sim Racing Media. He is followed on the podium by Andy Kurtz and Chris Morris Jr., while meanwhile, Alan Smith has a finger-licking good win right here and picks up the championship for the AM division and is followed by David Calvert.
Yeah, and I mean, that top three right there is shows you how the playoff system, the rounds and everything can work the way it's supposed to, as those three were battling it out all season long from that pretty much our podiums have been those three for a majority of the season. Congrats to Smith, congrats to the other Smith, and the other two pro drivers.
Yeah, a pair of Smiths, Andy Kurtz and Chris Morris Jr. And Eddie Smith. Yo, this is the first. Listen, we talked about it in pre-race, and it just so happened to come true. The first father-son champions.
And that's an absolute just story right there. Imagine if they did this in real life, able to do burnouts with each other with a father-son duo on the front stretch for championships. It'd be phenomenal.
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 Arugula.
Eddie Smith picking up another win, back-to-back wins, one last week at Dover, wins here to take the championship. Alan Smith, I believe another win as well for him. My brain is a little foggy. Put another win there as well. And I think Eddie Smith's engine has now terminated itself.
We're going to get a hold of Eddie Smith right now here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. Hey, Eddie, it's Dave up in the booth. You got me.
What's going on?
Buddy, listen, you decided to go out here and pick up that championship dub tonight in the Tide Ride. How are you feeling, and how does it feel to finally crown this champion tonight?
I'm so excited for my dad. 100%. I'm more excited for him. I'm so thrilled that he was able to get this championship. To win it as well, it's just such a cool thing. Me and him haven't been able to race much with each other just because of time and stuff. And this season, he jumped up there and wanted to race, and it just worked out perfectly. I can't believe it. I'm so excited to share this with him. As far as the race goes, it was a stressful race, tough once we got stuck back in traffic, and it took a lot of luck, a lot of, to beat Andy Kurtz, to beat Chris Morris, it takes luck. It takes things going out your way. I can't take any credit for getting the pro win. It all fell in my lap. Jacob staying out there, being on older tires, being able to get by him was the biggest thing. Getting by him was huge. Once I got out front, I felt confident, and I'm so tickled for my dad. Congratulations to him. He should be the number one conversation piece tonight. He drove a hell of a race, hell of a playoffs, and he deserves this one.
Yeah, I mean, listen, once you stain your ride with your finger-licking good chicken, you got to use Tide. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys put on one heck of a show tonight from top to bottom. I felt really bad for Jamie for getting herself knocked out of this thing, but, it opened the door for what we talked about in pre-race, that it could be the first father-son champion duo, and you guys made it happen tonight. Literally the stars aligned just perfectly for you. So, I know that we also talked about some exciting new things coming up in the world of Goat Locker Racing. I know you and I have talked, about it at some length. So as far as that's concerned, I can't wait to see what happens next with the ARCA series. And before we cut you loose, who do you need to thank and who do you need to tip your helmet to tonight?
Well, I definitely got to shout out my grandmother and any other family members that are watching. She has been, look, she don't give nobody no slack. Anybody that calls the caution late or something like that, she's texting us letting us know that she's not happy with it. So shout out to her for watching these races, and this one for you, Granny. Man, Goat Locker is such an amazing place. To win a championship here is a huge, huge deal. Because it means so much, because of all the people here that are so great, the great folks here that race, that run the place, that put on the shows, that put in all the work. Phenomenal people, phenomenal organization with Goat Locker, doing amazing things with sim rig giveaways, all the kind of veteran outreach. That's what we're here to do. So we're here to celebrate veterans. We're here to lift up veterans, be there to help help them in their time of need. So I love Goat Locker for all of that. And I can't thank the sponsors and partners enough. Lincoln Tech, I won a championship, so I'm going to go long. Lincoln Tech, the Glove Station for sponsoring this series. Lincoln Tech for the whole spring series. They don't get enough love. Save 22. All of the sponsors, InVets, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. I feel like Cruising Classics. And all the partners that are going to be showing up here soon. Just cannot wait for what Go Locker's got. But I'm so excited to have this father-son win. Thank y'all so much for broadcasting. Y'all have done a phenomenal show this year, and so thankful to have y'all calling these races. And yeah, thanks everybody in the field. Fantastic racing all season. To my competitors, Timothy Wilms, Andy Kurtz, and Christopher Morris. I couldn't have asked for 3 other drivers to have to fight against to win a championship, and it just makes it all the more worth it whenever you can get it done. So congrats to them on fantastic season, and congrats to the amateur top 4 as well.
All right, my friend, I know that we'll be catching one another on the flip side. Congratulations once again. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Smith, the Spring 2025 Glove Station ARCA Series Pro Champion.
Woo!
Of course, next up here, we're going to go right from him to our champion from the AM division. Jordan, I believe you have Alan Smith with you now.
Hey, Alan Smith, it's Jordan up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Jordan, what's going on? Dave, Jordan, what's up, guys? Hallelujah. Hey.
Hey, man, I mean, first of all, congrats on the championship there, brother. I mean, first father-son duo to do it. 3rd win of the season as well for you there. Phenomenal season altogether, comes to fruition here where you get the championship. And, I mean, talk us through some of them emotions there, brother.
It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable that I get to do this with my son, and just come in here. And I love that they break up the pro and the AM division. Of course, I don't think I'm going to stay here very long, but anyway, I love it that they break that up and get the opportunity to come in here and race with some guys on my level and stuff. And so it's been such an amazing. I'm so honored to even just be here, because I really don't even belong up here in this championship for even and stuff. And so just by the grace of God, I was able to be at the right place at the right time. So I really have such a great time. You're right, the emotions are out of this world.
Yeah, you say you don't feel you deserve to be up here, but I mean, the stats itself do not lie. You had a strong season. Again, 3 wins on the season. You do, I'm trying not to say bad words. You daggone do belong in this championship 4, and certainly well deserving of championship. And I mean, again, it's awesome to see that you get to do it side by side with your.
It is. It's just absolutely amazing. And when we got down into the championship, the first round of it, I started showing people in our family and showing people at work. And of course, I know my mom's, she's watching today, and she watches every week and stuff. And so I know she's just it's so amazing that we get to do this, that she gets to watch that too. But yeah, it's been a great season. Man, the guys who I race with, Jeremiah, all those guys that were there with me, and I'm kind of drawing a blank right now, but all those guys, they were just so much fun, and we just have so much fun. But I do owe Jeremiah a apology there, because we were racing really hard there, and I dropped off the edge of the grass to go under him because my tires were just a little bit better than his, but I was pushing too hard. But anyway, I owe him an apology there. But anyway, it was awesome race.
Yeah, and now you're saying you might not stay here in that AM division for very long. I mean, maybe next time you get into this championships and start running for the playoffs, maybe you can try to get up there, steal it from your son, man.
That would be awesome, but that's going to be pretty big there. Now, he's a great driver. He is an awesome driver, and so
absolutely,
yes, absolutely. So, but I love all these guys that race in here. I love what Goat Locker does. I just absolutely love what they stand for. And me, like I say, being ex-fire chief, I just fit right in here with all these guys and stuff. So I just absolutely love it.
Absolutely, man. Well, once again, congrats on both the AM win and the championship here the AM division. And before we set you loose there, brother, is there anybody you want to shout out this season?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, I have to thank Jesus Christ, my Lord and my Savior, for giving me the eternal life and the opportunity to do this with my son. But also, I just want to thank Goat Locker for what they do. I've already said that, and appreciate you guys doing the broadcast. Is so awesome. Like I say, that my mom gets to watch us do this and our family. I'd like to give a shout out to Lincoln Tech, Save 22. The Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, and of course Glove Station, because they're the one who is the title sponsor here for us. And so appreciate all my competitors and all those guys who helped me, and I appreciate just being able to get in here and do this each and every week.
All right, man. Well, once again, congrats on the championship, and well deserved, man.
Hey, wait. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time, brother.
All right.
That the voice of Alan Smith, our AM champion, and of course the father of our pro champion. That's always something unique. And right now, coming up next is the voice of Andy Kurtz, driver of the number 48 machine out of Quakertown, Pennsylvania, falling just short of the pro win tonight for the championship. Hey, Andy, it's Dave. You got me?
What's up, Dave? Yep, gotcha.
Buddy, listen, a rough finish tonight for the 48. I mean, you were just that close, but no cigar. How you feeling, and what are you going to take from this into next season?
Yeah, I mean, definitely feel good with it. I think I did better than I expected. Had a terrible qualifying effort, so I really thought I figured the race would go green. Which it really did until the end, and I just figured having a bad qualifying effort would really just be a deal breaker for the race. But luckily, had a lot of fun coming up through the field. Just gotta this car is tough. Like you really got to think about how you pass people, because you could just get like freight trained if you're in the wrong line, but you still gotta run it like a normal mile and a half. It's not like it's a super speedway, but the draft is just still so important on the straightaway. So it's a lot that you got to think about. A lot happening really quickly. So yeah, this car was fun to learn. It's definitely not like my favorite car. I miss the old ARCA car, but I'm sure this one will get better over time. And yeah, just had a ton of fun racing Eddie and Chris. I've raced with Eddie for like years now, so really good to see him win. Love racing him, a lot of respect. So it's always a fun time. So really cool to see him win, and his dad Alan get the AM championship. So yeah, just overall really good night, I think, for Goat Locker, which is what matters.
Yeah, it's always a good thing when it's kind of like an umbrella, When one person wins, we all win, and that's kind of the way that this feels, especially with so many of you playoff drivers finishing as high as you did. And really, I mean, the Pro and the AM division here in the ARCA series is so unique, because usually that's two completely separate leagues, but they've managed to put the Pros and the AMs together under one roof, and it seems to work, and you guys are incredible. I mean, just a few cautions tonight, nothing crazy. And, I know that everybody's looking forward to next season and what Goat Locker and Glove Station have in store for that. But before we cut you loose, who do you need to thank and who do you need to tip your helmet to tonight?
Yeah, man. Yeah, can't believe the season's done already. So definitely already really looking forward to our summer series and then next full season. So yeah, appreciate you guys putting on great broadcasts for us. Not just this series, but all the ones you do for us. I want to thank everyone, Pat, Jamie, Jake, everyone at Goat Locker for putting up with us, dealing with us, and giving us a great platform to race in a couple nights a week. I want to thank Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Hidden Whip Brewery, Cruising Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, Glove Station, Operation Valor, Invent, Sam Printing and Promotions, McConey Setup Shop, V-Speed, Sim Racing Media, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Alexander PC, Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing, and Above the Yellow Line.
All right, brother man, once again, congratulations on the P2 finish tonight. Another good championship attempt for you. We'll see you next season, and good luck, and have fun.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
That the voice of Andy Kurtz out of Quakertown, Pennsylvania. And last but certainly not least, on our podium tonight, Jordan, you have him now, Jordan Brockel.
Hey, Chris Morris, it's Jordan in the booth. You got a copy?
Man, I do have a copy. I don't think we. When's the last time I talked to you guys?
I don't know. I mean, for a while there, it was
I've been
consistent, and then
waiting on that Taco Bell bell to ring.
It's just, I'm sorry, folks. It wasn't in the cards.
I mean, again, you come up short. Somebody has to. Unfortunately, it was you. But I mean, the season as a whole is something to look back on and hold your head up high. I mean, you had several wins consistently in the running for win each and every week. I mean, all in all, the season itself, in my eyes, would be a success. You're just missing the championship.
Yeah, I got no complaints. It'd be real easy to be upset and to be bummed out about it. But I mean, the reality is, I took 2 years off from sim racing. I came back the week of Daytona this season, and I asked Pat, I was like, what can I run? And he gave me a list of cars, and we jumped in the ARCA car, we jumped in the Xfinity car, and the first half of the season, man, I couldn't even believe it. Really, like that old ARCA car, I just had such a good feel for it, and I could sit here and I could complain about the new ARCA car. I've done that enough in the Discord chats amongst the other drivers, but I just, as soon as we switched over to that thing, I have not been able to get I can go damn fast by myself. Not a problem. You put me out there. I mean, I didn't qualify in the pole tonight. Messed that one up. Probably would have had a better race if I didn't. But you put me out there, and I feel like I got a good handle of the car. It's when it comes to trying to make a pass with it, it just I don't know what I need to do differently. But I tried and I tried and I tried for like the last month or so to figure it out, and I just could not figure it out. And other people were able to. Eddie was able to. Mark Whitley showed up, and that guy was. I don't know where they found him or what that dude eats for breakfast, but bro, it just lights out every week, whatever he's driving. And it's not discouraging. It's awesome. I love racing with people like that because it makes you better if that's your goal. Because you get to follow them around, see what they're doing, see what you're doing that's messing up. But the bottom line here is, I guess what I'm trying to get to is once we switched to this new car, just nothing went my way. I really had no business being in this Final Four here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about at the. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just if it wasn't for the bonus points from the races and the finishes I got with the old car, I never would have pointed. You look at my finishes the last couple rounds, and they're not good. I got through them based off of the bonus points. So to end up in the Final Four and to get a podium and to see Eddie win with his dad, that's just it's so cool. There's no complaints.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where you like, how can you not be romantic about sports or racing, for sure. But we talked about that too back at the point in the season where we did switch. That we were going to see, some people prevail, some people struggle, some people stay the same. And I mean, you say that you fell off, but I mean, there were times where you were easily one of the fastest cars, and again, you. So I mean, yes, I know you feel that you didn't deserve to be there, but you're there for a reason, in my opinion. You raced the season the same as everybody else. You made it into it. Again, you come up short, but again, nothing to hang your head on for this season. And I mean, with this car, I'm sure that you'll be able to get some time in the seat to figure those things out. Because I mean, all in all, talented driver, and I look forward to watching you run more throughout the entire Goat Locker series and organization.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Hey, I heard you say during the broadcast that if it came to pro wrestling trivia, you were the guy. So I just wanted to test this. 87 Rumble.
Oh,
what you got?
87 Rumble. Oh, see, now you're asking wins and stuff. That now you've got me.
You
now
could throw out any name. I don't know either.
Shawn Michaels. I don't know.
That's awesome.
But again, congrats on the third, man. A hard fought season all year long. Changing the car, still finding out how to run it. Still had bad fast speed, in my opinion, but ultimately a great season for you there, bro.
Appreciate it, man. I do. I got to thank everybody who put this stuff together so I can come out here and have fun. Starting with Glove Station sponsoring the series. It's really cool that companies and organizations want to get involved in sim racing the way they do. I remember a time where if you asked somebody if they wanted to sponsor an online race, they laugh at you and be like, "What are you talking about? Go get a job." So, it's cool to see. It's cool to see the growth of that and see what Pat and Jamie and everybody at Go Locker has been able to put together. It's an honor to run with these guys above the yellow line, Sim Motion, iRacing. We wouldn't have any of this if they didn't put this sim together. I'm super excited to see the new NASCAR 25 game. I hope I see a lot of you guys that are watching if you don't have iRacing on there, because I will be on there. And yeah, you guys for doing a phenomenal job with broadcast all season. It's been great. Again, I said this earlier this season, and I mean it wholeheartedly. You watch some of the racing across the country. Almost all of it nowadays is, live on some kind of streaming service, and the production quality is not worth what you're paying for. What you guys are putting on YouTube with sim racing, showcasing us, showcasing these leagues, showcasing these companies that are getting involved with these leagues, it's top tier stuff. It really is. You guys should be proud of it, and I look forward to seeing what you guys keep doing.
Yeah, looking forward to watching all of these series across Goat Locker. You guys, each and every one of you guys, put on phenomenal shows and clean shows. I know you have cautions, but most of the time the cautions just hard racing. But it's a ton of fun to watch, and I look forward to watching everything, and obviously following you, because as a broadcaster, you tend to pick up some people you like to follow, and you, sir, may be one for me to continue to follow. So. Congrats on the P3 there, brother, and look forward to having more conversations with you in the future.
Absolutely, guys. Feelings mutual. You guys have a good night. We'll see you later.
All right, buddy. You do the same. We appreciate the kind words, Chris, and hopefully we see you next season as we bring things to a close tonight. It has been one heck of a season, and you are one heck of a partner, my friend, and I would not trade these last several weeks for anything in the world.
Oh, don't be getting all emotional on me, because I've already cried once this stream. I don't need to cry a second time, but no, every time with you, Dave, it's a wonderful time. And, the racing here even, helps us bring the best out of us. These guys are bad fast and super fun to watch and follow.
Without a doubt. Well, for the last time this season, we're going to take one final look at our standings for the race tonight. Eddie Smith brings home the checkered flag and the championship trophy for the 2025 spring season. Andy Kurtz and Chris Morris Jr. round out your podium with, of course, Alan Smith bringing home the AM checkered flag and the AM championship trophy. Brett Bieber and Jonah Colbert, they come home in 4th and 5th, with David Calvert in 7th. Corinne Smith, Brandon Wallace, and Devin Smith round out your top 10, with Timothy Wilmus, Jeremiah Holt, Jake Ellingson, Barrett Morton, Jamie Libke, after a disappointing finish for her tonight, comes home in 15th, but she'll get another chance to run for the championship Sunday night right here on Sim Racing Media. Daniel Cunningham, Skylar Daly, Doug Macedo, they make up your top 18. And as we look at the best of the rest, Daniel Craighkeel, Josh Unger, Warren Clayton, Casey Jones, Noah Hoagie Hogard, Ricky Sisk Jr., and John Hoochin make up the remainder of the drivers who took the green flag tonight. So for myself, Dave Regal, for my broadcast partner extraordinaire, Mr. Jordan Brockell, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us all season long here on Sim Racing Media. Without you folks at home, we wouldn't have anybody to talk to. And I very much take the time that we get to spend together seriously, because for me, it's not just hanging out and watching a race. It's hanging out with my friend. It's hanging out with my brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
It means everything to me, and especially to sit in this seat that was once occupied by the great one, Tony Trapasso. And for that, I want to thank everybody for hanging out in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth week in and week out. And it's why we say that as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.